back to the DELCO Cross Country podcast. With you as always, this is Kevin Key, and I am breaking down everything this week when it comes to Delaware County Cross Country. And what a week it was for Delaware County Cross Country. You had Paul Short this week. You had this Souderton Twilight Invitational. You had the William Tennant Invitational. And a lot of flexing of the muscles from Delaware County teams. But before we get there, before we talk about all of the meets, all of the action, all of the activity leading into league championship season, let's talk about where you can find me. You can find me, DELCO XC Pod, on Twitter and Instagram. It's been mostly the Instagram machine rather than the Twitter machine recently, at DELCO XC Pod. Make sure you give that a follow. I have a lot of collaborations with some great people out there. Great shout-outs between DELCO Track and Field on Instagram, Track Time Picks on Instagram, PA Mile Split on Instagram. We have a lot of collaborations. Also, Ryan Comstock on Instagram. A lot of these collaborations happening, and it just makes this sport a lot better. So thank you to all those great follows and the people that are actually kind of making me look good, even though you're taking the pictures and you're collaborating with a guy who's talking on a microphone. Huge shout out to all of you for those collaborations. It just makes all of our pages a lot better and gives us all a lot of great followers. As I said, I'm going to break down everything when it comes to DELCO Cross Country. Follow me on the Twitter and Instagram machine. You can also follow me on YouTube. That is at DELCO XC Pod on YouTube, where you can catch some of the interviews I did, some of the podcasts I did. If you want to see my face for radio, I guess you can see that on YouTube now. I didn't want to do it. I'm trying to change the backgrounds up a little bit when it comes to the YouTube channel. I probably am not going to keep up with the YouTube channel other than interviews, but some great things there. Thank you to those who kind of pushed me towards that YouTube route as well. You can always email me, delcoxc@gmail.com. And let's get into it a little bit. But before I get into the meets and all the races and all the spectacular performances from this past weekend, I want to talk about the weather. Look at it. You can see the sun shining in through my back window. Guys, I hate it. I hate it. This is not cross-country weather, and it annoys me. It annoys me that we're racing in high 70-degree weather. It annoys me that we put in all of this training, all of this focus, and we try to get into October where it's supposed to be in the 40s and the 50s, maybe even the low 60s, and we're racing in like 80-degree weather. Yesterday at Souderton Invitational, it was like 80 degrees for the first race of the day for the JV girls, and it was annoying. It was annoying. I was annoyed by it because I didn't feel so great either. But hot weather kind of like crushes spirits a little bit. And it also doesn't help this part of the sport. This is the biggest part of the sport. That's your brain, your mind, the mind tricks that this weather plays on people. It affects how we race and how we take in a certain part of races. It also, let's be honest, your mind plays tricks on you to begin with this sport. So when we have these mind games on top of the weather that plays into the mind games, it definitely hurts our performances on a cross-country course. And I have to give it up to you every single week. We don't always have our best races. I've always told my teams, you're allowed to have a bad race. Let's hope those bad races happen in like September, early October, rather than championship season, rather than DELCOs, rather than districts, rather than centrals, rather than those league meets, the Interact Catholic League Championships. Let's have our bad meets. Let's get them out of the way. Now they're out of the way. Now we can focus in on our league championships. We can focus in on districts. We can focus in on potentially states. And that's where we want to have our big races. So everything at this point has been culminating into championship season. And I'm hoping that whatever we're going through, because I know some individuals have our own challenges. I was talking to some of my own team about these mental challenges that we have to get over going into league championship meets. And it's easier said than done. One of those things that I said and I mentioned on the podcast. So if we have a bad race, you got 5 minutes. You have 5 minutes to dwell about it. You have 5 minutes to really focus on it. And then you got to get over it. It happened in the past. It's done. It's over. Let's focus on to the next one. I know it's easier said than done. But hopefully at this point we start to roundabout. We think about positive effects. I know last year when I talked to the team from Haverford on the girls' end state championships, Karen McGee and gave some great advice on that podcast of focusing in on the different positives that you have, not only on the cross country course but in life, and those things help get you through. This isn't the be all end all. But also, you kind of want to continue to build on those positive events in your races. And a lot of you have those positive events. You just have to kind of focus more on that than the negative outputs that sometimes the race has on you. It's all a mind game. This sport plays with your mind more than any other sport, which is why it's such an amazing sport. Once you're able to get over that mental hurdle, I'm going to tell you, you're able to get over a lot of things, and it all starts to come together. As I said, it was a heck of a race in Delaware County Cross Country. We have our Paul Short races with individual and team wins. We have the Souderton Twilight invite with team wins and amazing races overall. And we have the William Tennant invite where Marple flexed some muscle. So let's dive into this a little bit more. And I'm going to start with the biggest meet of the week, or the biggest meet of the week that some people say. That's the Paul Short Invitational. What a day at the Paul Short Invitational. You had Kendra Williamson. She was 5 days removed from winning DELCO championships. Kendra became the overall champion in the gold race at Paul Short. She went 17:04, which breaks her own school record. It was 5 seconds off the course record at Lehigh. Currently the PA number 6 overall time in history. And most importantly, she right now has the fastest 5K time in Delaware County history. Life of a DELCO XC girl for sure. Kendra outran some of the best in this one, which include PA mile splits. Number 1 prior to this race, Virginia Krause. That's PA mile splits, not the best time, but PA mile splits, Virginia Krause. It was a smart move by Kendra to break this open about the halfway mark and not letting the kickers get into the race to catch up. It was a great race for her, great tactics throughout it. This win will not only help the Interac, but it will also help the other private schools when it comes to PA rankings. This is almost going to guarantee that PA mile split is going to change their rankings, guarantee that Penn Charter's Mackenzie Skelly is going to be number 1, and Episcopal Academy's Kendra Williamson is going to end up being number 2 in the next mile split rankings. This pretty much guarantees it. I know you're listening, Jackson Pollen. All right, in the gold race, it was Episcopal as the top overall DELCO team. They went 9th overall. Races combined, they would have been 10th. It's fun to watch a team who's 2 through 5 are trying to get better and beat each other each and every week. This one, 2nd overall for Episcopal, was Hannah Todd. She continues to push through this sophomore season, being their 2nd runner at 19:21. It's a huge day for her. Ava Cavanaugh was their 3rd runner this week. She went 19:41. She could apparently do it all. She scored a game-winning goal apparently in soccer like the next day. Ava Cavanaugh does it all. Anna Bradford, she came in at 20:35, and the most important runner on the course, in my opinion, is always the 5th runner. You can do all you want up top, but it's that 5th runner that needs to pull through. Olivia Melson, she went 20:38 for the DELCO champions, and she pulled off and helped out the Episcopal girls to go 9th over on the gold race. Ridley was the other DELCO team in that gold race, and they were led by Cecilia Kane. She set a Ridley school record at 18:59, and I was really happy to see this race out of CC, personally for CC, after watching DELCO championships a week ago. It was great to see that CC not only towed the line, but finished at such a fast time and persevered through her personal challenges from DELCO championships the week prior. Plus, a little positive was put out in the universe on Tuesday at the Cal Super Meet when her mom, a good coach and a good friend to the podcast, her mom Natalie gave a very hungry 6-year-old child of mine, Carson, a big bag of goldfish because he was hungry. I think he was faking it personally. That's some good karma coming back to the Kane family this week. It was either that or proof that I should probably pack more snacks when he comes to meets with me. Freshman Elizabeth McGlone, she ran a big race. She went 20:35 overall. The Brown race, it had some teams from DELCO as well. They had the Garnet Valley girls, the Notre Dame girls, and the Upper Darby girls. This one had a big day out of the birthday girl, Avery Lustgarten, who sits number 3 all-time in Garnet Valley High School. She went 9th overall on that one at 18:57. The senior continues to run well as the year progresses and should be looking big time when it comes to Central League Championships. She also led Garnet Valley's 7th overall in the team score. She was followed by Lily Bellinger, who was 55th at 20:29. Freshman Caitlin King was not far behind her at 57th at 20:34, followed by Rachel Hicks at 21:14 and Charlotte King at 21:51. It was another strong race out of the girls from Garnet Valley. Notre Dame, they were led by Carson Tierney, who continues to pick up the workload in the latter parts of the season. Carson went 5th overall at 18:46. Carson, she continues to build week after week and cement the 3rd fastest time in the county this year. She was followed by Kara Sweeney, who went 27th at 19:44, and freshman Addie Arata at 22:08. Junior Isabel Boggio and Sierra Brown, they were the top 2 finishers for Upper Darby. They went 22:22 and 22:40. The white race also ran, or should we say, hooted DELCO. The Owls of the Agnes Irwin flew to the finish line and proved that even owls can fly in packs. They painted the Paul Short course yellow in their victory of the white race with 77 points, missing one of their top performers, Sophia Casey. Emma Watson, she led the way. She went 4th overall at 19:10. She was followed quickly by her teammate Avery Brennan, who went 8th overall at 19:36. The duo packed a magical punch together, but also brought their teammates with them. They had junior Margaret Dooley. She went 22nd, quickly followed by Wynn Hastings at 30th and Grace Volklin at 31st. Great pack out of the Owls in multiple spots in this race. Those 2 packs alone were able to give them the 6-point edge to win this Paul Short white race. Congratulations to the girls of Agnes Irwin. On the boys' end, it was a team from Ridley that showed off again. They had a powerful hitting trio of their own. Alma Mateos went 39th, Paul Lua at 44th, and Nick Lancy at 75th. Alma was 16-17, Paul 16-23, Nick 16-48. It shows that Ridley still has some strength left moving into Cal Championships. Those 3 were followed by Bobby Navazio at 17-19 and Nick Kane at 17-19. These boys truly flying on the course. Top 5 with a solid 1650 average. That's killer heading into this part of the season. The Ridley boys were followed by the team from Episcopal. Episcopal Academy was able to bring the heat in this one. They were led by Curtis Connor at 15:41 and 21st place. That's absolutely crazy that time goes 21st. He was followed by Caleb Young at 16:30, Kyle Zhang at 16:48, Michael Chadwick and Max Berman. They rounded out the top 5. Upper Darby and Garnet Valley, they were also the only teams in the Brown race. Upper Darby was led by Josh Sharp, who went 66th at 17:31. I did not mention Upper Darby the week before. They ran at the Six Flags Invitational, where Josh Sharp ran the DELCO number 3 time, 16:04, prior to this weekend. Brandon Coots and Jaden Brown Glover, they were their 2nd and 3rd runners. Garnet Valley, they were led by Emmanuel Valles. He was 53rd in this one, running 17:11. Isaac Mellinger, he went 17:41. They were followed both by UV Sathi at 17:57, Frank Lamb at 18:12, Max Lunga and James O'Byrne with a 1-second separation at 18:16 and 18:17. There were no boys in the white race at Paul Short. Let's head over to Souderton for the Twilight Invitational. That's where I was, and we saw a lot of impressive performances out of the DELCO teams. We're going to start out in the girls' end. Saw amazing team victory out of the girls from Radnor. They came into Souderton fired up as we head into championship season. Radnor, they're putting things together now. Now that it's turning into championship season, you're seeing them develop and become more competitive, especially up front. They threw 2 girls in the top 10. That's Caitlin Anderson. She went 6th overall at 1912. And Coco Connor, she went 10th overall at 1925. That was a huge start for the team trying to put on a show. Sierra Humphrey, she put up a big race going 22nd overall at 2026 with teammate Nora Elliott not far behind at 27th at 2040. It then came down to Mia Richter, who was 41st at 2101. Huge race from Mia, who kept Council Rock South's 4th and 5th girl in her sight to cement the win for Radnor. Claire Brown was their 6th runner. She went 21-26. And their top JV athlete, Isabel Shaw, she went 3rd overall in the JV race, was their 7th best runner of the day, going 21-46. Strathaven was the next DELCO team in, going 6th overall. They were led currently by freshman Kayla Gaffney, who went 3rd at 1847. Kayla's having a tremendous season and continuing to grow throughout this year. Surprisingly, wasn't even the top freshman in this race, which is crazy to think about. Sophie Jackson was next in for them, medaling and finishing 18th at 2011. Julia Godu was their next and a big surprise for Strathaven, going 20-56. Mara Carey, who's coming off of illness, as reported by Coach Corin at the DELCO Cross Country Championship Preview podcast, she returned in this one going 21-44, and they closed out with Caroline Rupon, who ran a personal best time of 21:50 to close out the finish for Strathaven. Haverford finished right after Strathaven. They went 7th overall. They were led by senior Ryan Agnes. When I say Ryan, you say Agnes. I want that audio still. That was a lot of fun at the award ceremony. She went 9th overall at 1924. Haverford then led an absolute powerful punch of sophomores and freshmen, finishing 46th through 52nd. Claire Emmerich, Charlotte Gone, Amelia Capewell, and Jane Lozano came in back to back to back to back. However, it showed they have a powerful depth right before Central League championships, and honestly, just a great race out of them. I'm also going to do a complete biased podcaster thing here, because I am completely biased. I do want to give a shout out to their runner Vivian Goldberg for a second. Thank you for knowing about the podcast. Because I know you told your mom, like when she asked you, hey, do you know about this DELCO XC podcast person? And she goes, everyone knows him. A lot of fun to hear it, especially after talking to her mom at work to listen to the podcast right before DELCO championships. So I wanted to give you, Vivian, a nice little shout out. I'm so glad that this podcast is getting around into the DELCO universe that we are. Springfield, they were the next team. They were led by Michaela Corcoran at 30th. Tegan Spivey at 32nd, Darsana Bada, Lizzie Angelupis, and Camel Baxter rounded out their top 5 performance. On the boys' end, it came down to the wire again, both individually and on the team end. Teddy Foster of Haverford was 2nd overall, getting just outkicked by Jude Olson of Council Rock South. Teddy went 15-28 and was flying on this course. Teammates Ryan Cleary, he went 6th at 16 flat. Sean Lawson 7th at 16 flat. Really put Haverford in a strong position. Really fun actually seeing Ryan and Sean sprinting onto the track to that finish with 300 meters to go. It also came down to Charlie Hatton at 42nd and Liam Brewster at 47th. That closed out the team score, giving them 2nd overall in this one for the team of Haverford. The DELCO champion team from Haverford. Both. One thing I do want to notice that both the boys and the girls, they're going to be a force to reckon with when it comes to Central Leagues and districts in the next few weeks. They were both missing the Awad twins in this one in their finishers list. Both, I think, are going to be huge in the next few weeks. I think Evelyn only cements more of a powerful punch for that team from Haverford at Centrals. And Jonathan also, He's the one that's been really missing for them the past few weeks. I know illness is going around. I know that definitely affects where people race in these races. Be on the lookout for those two at Central League Championships. While this race was between the two PA-ranked teams, Council Rock South and Haverford, it's going to be interesting when they meet again and Haverford is at full strength. Congratulations, Council Rock South. You got DELCO this time. You're not going to get them next time. Next DELCO team in, they were Strathaven. They went fourth. Strathaven spread was insane. 29 seconds between their 1 and their 5 is absolutely insane. Absolutely crazy. Haven, they had 5 guys between 20th and 37th. They were led by Luca Fantozzi at 16:45. Colin Kennedy was next at 25th, going 16:53. Owen Goldberg, 33rd. Lucas Elliott, 35th. Oliver Brody at 37th. Really packed in their top 5 together. Dude, that spread is... that's dangerous, that spread. The fact that these guys are all young and can continue to build with each other, that spread is going to be dangerous for the future. Radnor was the next team in. They were 8th overall. They had a good spread of their own, 1 minute and 47 seconds spread. They were led by Connor Walsh at 16:12. He was a medalist. Jack Hubble, 16:35, also brought in a medal of his own. They had Carter McElwain, Carl Howell, and Dylan Adams round out their top 5. Springfield, they were 13th overall. They were led by Chris Carty. Carty continues his stellar senior season. He went 10th overall at 16:18, pulled in a medal of his own. Liam Harris Iveson, Sean Brady, Samuel Kubiak, and Carl Ross rounded out their top 5. I'm also going to be the completely biased podcaster for a moment because I have to shout out my co-worker's son, Matthew Fletcher. He debuted in the varsity lineup this week for Springfield as a freshman. Shout out to Matthew on this one. Weekend did not end there. We had some amazing performances that were had at the William Tennant Invitational. We're going to start with Marple Newtown and their team victory. The Tigers put in a punch. They punched their way into putting 3 in the top 20. I said a lot, powerful punch. They were led naturally by Sloan Smith, who went 3rd overall at 18:45. Sloan continues her breakout sophomore sensational season, with another great race. She was followed by Avery DeCecco, who went 8th at 20 minutes and 1 second. Freshman Jessica DeMeo, she was their 3rd runner. She went 16th at 20:32. A tremendous trio for the Tigers. Say that 3 times fast. They closed out their win with Brooke Davis. She went 30th at 21:35. Jonica Wark going 21:52. Another impressive performance and win for the Tigers of Marple Newtown. I have to wonder if Coach Butler is going to start hiding his team plaques in the basement of his house soon. When I come, I'm sure I'll be over at one point. I'll check out that basement and see where those plaques are all hidden. Maybe I'll steal a couple for like the background of my screen of the YouTube videos. Who knows? Marple boys, they also put in a great race in their own. They went 11th overall. They were led by Julian Bothma, who went 29th at 17:21. Cole Wozniak, he went 17:30, and he finished 34th overall. Jacob Albanese, St. Pius Proud. Jacob Albanese, Cole Broomall from Broomall, Nick Nolan, they rounded out the top 5 for the Tigers of Marple Newtown. The only team from Delaware County that ran at the William Tennant Invitational. Let's go into the top 5 team rankings. I know this is what everybody looks forward to each week. This is the one I get emailed about. This is the one I get messaged about on Twitter and Instagram, and you have every right to do so. So let's start number 1. Clearly on the boys' end is going to be the team from Haverford. They flex muscle at DELCO. Had DELCO royalty all over them there. Pencrest, number 2 still. They were off this weekend. Actually, if I'm coaching, I would have probably done the same thing with Central Leagues in a week and a half. Ridley, they are right now the number 3 team for me. They edged out Episcopal Academy at Paul Short, so that bumps them up automatically on the list to the top 3. Episcopal is number 4, and you can't stop that 39-second spread from Strathaven. They are number 5. Top 5 on the girls' end. Obviously, you have the team from Episcopal Academy, still number 1. They are your DELCO champions for a reason. Their top 5 performed pretty well at the Paul Short Invitational. Oh, and they have that top runner by the name of like Kendra Williamson or something. So, once again, Episcopal number 1. Agnes Irwin winning the white race is huge for them at Paul Short. They right now are my number 2 ranking again. They finished second last week at DELCO Championships. Those rankings pretty much still stay the same. You have the team from Radnor, Souderton Invite winner, Twilight Invitational winner. They are continuing to push it as the late season moves on. That is Radnor at number 3 right now, and those girls are moving. Marple Newtown, they won the William Tennant Invitational. They right now are your number 4 team. They have a powerful trio of their own, and I'm excited to see how Radnor and Marple Newtown, as well as my number 5 ranking, match up when it comes to Central League Championships. And number 5 this week, I have the team from Strathaven. This is where things are going to get interesting because I know Garnet Valley could also be right up there. I have the team from Strathaven right now. They have Mara Carey back in the lineup. Their 3, 4, 5 really did push in some great races this weekend. Their 4, 5 pushed in some great races this weekend and continue to move up in the rankings. I'm interested to see what Strathaven does at Central League Championships. For now, until League Championship previews, 1 week away, I'm Kevin Keene. I'm going to sign off for the week. It is now championship season. This is where things start to matter. This is where teams start to show up and show off. Let's see what happens. We have a huge lineup of league championships starting next Tuesday at Central League Championships. Get ready. You got Del Val. You have Central League. You have Interac. You have BAL. And you have the Philadelphia Catholic League. All within a week of each other. Things are about to get crazy. And if you're on the Instagram page, you've seen my rankings for the league, for league rankings right now. Week by week, I've been adding to the league overall rankings. DELCO is looking to show off in these races. Like on Interac-wise, I have Episcopal at 4. Haverford at 5 on the boys' end. I think Episcopal's just going to bump up, to be honest with you. Girls' end, I have Episcopal at number 2 and Agnes Irwin number 3 with Notre Dame number 5 in the rankings. This is last week's rankings, by the way. On the boys' end in the Philadelphia Catholic League, I have the boys from Bonner at number 5. In the Central League, I have top-ranked teams. I have Haverford at 1, Pencrest at 3, Ridley at 4, Marple Newtown at 5. On the girls' end, I have Marple Newtown at 2 in that ranking. That might change this week to Radnor after their impressive performance. We'll see what happens. Radnor I had at 3, Haverford I had at 4, and Strathaven I had at 5. In the BAL League, I had DELCO Christian on the boys' end at 3rd. On the girls' end, DELCO Christian in 3rd. And in the Del Val, it's Penwood at 1, Interboro at 2 on the boys' end, and Interboro at 1, Penwood at 2 on the girls' end. Things are going to get interesting. Things are going to start to heat up. I'm excited to see what happens. League Championships, 1.5 weeks away. It all starts with Central League Championships. I'll be back with a preview next Sunday on the next episode of the DELCO XC Pod. Until then, give me a 5-star review. Like, share, subscribe, whatever you have to do. I don't even know at this point. Leave a comment. It's good for the algorithm, people. Let me know how I'm doing. Let's like force the DELCO Times, the Inquirer. Let's force them to start watching these cross-country teams again. Let's force them to start writing about these cross-country teams again, because I know the coverage that I am giving them. Let's force them out now, and let's give you what you deserve in Delaware County cross-country. You deserve to be heard. You deserve to be seen. This is Kevin Key, and I am signing off.